We go live on UFC Fight Pass with the main card at 8 p.m. We're going to get the undercard started right now. Please welcome to the blue corner for your opening undercard contest, Josh Van.
Josh Van, the guy that we've watched the last 2 times that we've called fights. Michael, fighting out of Sons of Silverback, lost to Devin Jackson via RNC at FC 55. Just a firework of a fighter. Like, that's the only way I can describe Josh is a firework.
Yeah, Josh Van is one of those guys that, you know, he's got 2 fights or 3 fights as a pro. He was 4-0 as an amateur. He's coming off of his first loss of his career. So he's had his first 6 fights, he was undefeated. It'd be interesting to see how he comes off and how he rebounds from that first loss.
Yeah, and he's been one of the most active fighters I've ever met in my life. I remember calling his last amateur championship bout, you know, just maybe a year and a half ago. He's been super active, and to see him fighting already again is really no surprise. But I'll tell you, that activity, if your body can maintain it, if your durability is strong, is really going to make for just good comfortability inside the cage.
It's almost like the matchup was created for a perfect fight because his opponent, who we're going to meet in the second, Francisco Obando, he likes to throw as well. So this fight is not going to lack action, and that's perfect for a guy like Josh.
Yeah, this is a perfect way to start this card off.
Please welcome to the red corner, Francisco Obando.
Francisco Obando, 2-1, fighting out of Metro Fight Club, made his pro debut in 2020, where he beat Paris Moran, who we're going to meet a little bit later on tonight. And he's a guy that, as I mentioned, loves to push that tempo. He doesn't mind sitting in there in a good exchange, and that makes a great fight for us as fans.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Alex, you tell me, that's kind of a big deal that this guy has a win over Paris Moran. Paris Moran has 1 loss on his record, and it's to this guy who's the first card on the prelims.
Yeah, I remember seeing the matchup and watching the fight, and I was so stunned when I saw how not only well Obando did, but that he finished Paris. And like, Paris is the co-main event on the main card. Obondo's opening up, you know, the prelims. That just goes to show how notable of a win that submission finish was over Paris.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tall 125er. You know, he's a big guy for 125, and you know, beat Paris by standing rear naked choke. And so both feet were on the floor. It was kind of a strange thing to see, but you know, not to put too much light on it, but that's a big deal. The co-main event tonight, his only loss is to the guy that was the first fight here.
Yeah, absolutely. And his loss, you know, is to a really strong competitor as well. Yep. This is a fantastic fight. I can really see Obando maybe looking to take this fight to the ground and use his submission skills. And I'll tell you, Joshua Van, he's got a pace on him, and he's fought some longer guys before. This will be a good matchup. Nice
show of respect between both fighters inside the cage. Let's make it official. Let's get the intros.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening undercard contest brought to you by Space City Collective is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This kickboxer stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall, and he weighed in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he holds a professional record of 2 wins, 1 loss. This is the fearless Josh Van. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall, and weighted officially at 125.4 pounds. Also fighting out of Houston, Texas, he too holds a professional record of 2 wins, only 1 defeat. This is Francisco Obando.
What a way.
Your referee in charge of the action, Jeff Rexroad.
What a way to start off the prelims. Man, we are going to get some fireworks. Joshua Van, Francisco Obando. And here we go. And 5'9", by the way, for Francisco, a bigger fighter for this weight class.
Yeah, it's not very often you get goosebumps for the first fight on the undercard. I'm pumped about this one.
Yeah, this one's going to start quick. I mean, you see Van just winging a big overhand to start as soon as he can close that distance.
Nice kick there from Van.
Jab, keep your hand up.
The kickboxer really active with his kicks. Buy some distance there.
Yeah, it's obvious what Francisco's plan is right now, and Joshua Van is trying to give him some of it back, but Francisco looks like he wants to take those legs out as quickly as possible. maybe take some of the power off of Joshua Van.
Yeah, he's hit some inside kicks, Obando has, but I'll tell you, Van has landed the more significant power in those kicks. You can see Van's got a really good interpretation of range. As he lands a decent right hand, then Obando closes the distance.
And this is where Obando might flourish, is taking Van away from those kicks, taking away some of that stand-up, but right back to the center of the cage we go.
Yeah, with Obando being the taller fighter, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to get down low enough to be able to take Joshua Van down.
Turn to your left, turn to your left. With that right hand inside, let's go.
Yeah, the Silverback guys, the sons of Silverback guys, they're not known for grappling, but their grappling has always been on point, especially their defensive grappling. Like, I know Josh is going to make it very difficult for Obando to actually drag him down to the mat with any real significant position.
Two historical fight schools here in the city of Houston, Sons of Silverback, Metro Fight Club. Now Obando doing a good job of keeping some pressure on Joshua Van. And this is how you neutralize such a good kickboxer.
Yeah, that's right. And granted, Obando did a great job maintaining control, but you know, he was on the back, you know, and ended up transitioning almost to mount, but you saw Van just getting his hips out, and now he's looking to back away to the cage so he can create some space and get back up to the feet.
Yeah, Van's not worried about this at all. He's got kind of half a smile on his face. He doesn't look gassed, doesn't look like this is tiring him out, and he's doing a good job of keeping Obando's weight off of him, so able to use the cage to get back up there. See, Obando's got that one hook in, though. Van's got to be careful here.
Trying to take the back there. Van did hit a couple of those just little shots to keep Obando aware that, you know, I'm still here, not a big deal.
Josh needs to clear his knee from in between Obando's legs, and that'll allow him to turn that left hip towards the cage so he can try to square up.
Let's go, get your hand inside, right hand inside, and turn.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to control one of the wrists, and he's having a hard time reaching it right now because he needs it with that left hand. And so he's got it now. He'll be able to push it down, make some space. He'll feel more comfortable now turning that left shoulder into the cage a little bit so he can clear that leg.
2 minutes left in this first round. First fight of the prelims live on Facebook, and a nice breakout exchange.
Joshua Van, big punch right there up against the cage, and that's it.
Man, it was actually a jab. He threw a combination, and it was the jab that did the most damage, that actually put Obando down to his knees, and he ended up swarming him like he does and getting the finish. Big win here for Joshua Van.
Wow, 3-1 now for his career. Joshua Van just continues with the fireworks. One quick exchange there and a turn of events, and let's take a look at some of these highlights right now.
Let's watch the combination. So we're about to see where he closes the distance and goes to the takedown. But on the finishing sequence, I'm telling you, it was just a straight left jab that actually, I think, set the mark.
Yeah, Joshua Van never really looked like he was in trouble here. Even though he was on the bottom, he looked very relaxed. He looked very, very poised. Didn't seem to be having any problems. Didn't seem to think anything was a threat that Francisco Obando was doing.
There's a sharp little counter left hook there from Van. You know, he throws a lot of hooks, but he does not overswing them. He never really loses his footing.
Yeah, just barely missed with that one there. This is where Obando got him up against the cage, and you know, he was finally able to drag him down to the ground, but not much resistance there from Joshua Van. It didn't look like he felt uncomfortable in that position at all. And like I said, the whole time he was down there, he looked pretty relaxed.
So we're going to see a breakaway in just a moment, and he's going to throw a combination. As watch the left hand. Right here. Bang. It was just a jab right on the inside, and it hit right on the chin, right at the worst angle for him, and it got the knockdown. And man, Josh swarmed him and got a well-deserved TKO finish.
Let's go inside the cage to Wayne Like.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jeff Rexroad calls for a stop to the action. 3 minutes, 8 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO, the fearless Josh Van.
Josh now 3-1. Huge way to start off the night. Maybe a little bum box on the line there for our knockout of the night, but sometimes you just get caught just the perfect placement because there wasn't much power behind it, but it was just the perfect location.
It was really the angle that did it for that punch, and that goes to show Joshua Van's activity really paying off for him here as a now more seasoned professional.
Yeah, right. those left hands to the point of the chin, they'll make you loopy quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go to Wade for our next fight.